Hey everyone's Failed Shot back in the video, and today's going to be a little different. We are going to be joined by Bones88, another content creator for Ace. We're going to be going over 6 topics about the game, things that have gone on in the past month or currently, or perhaps the future month, and we hope to make this a regular thing, perhaps weekly, perhaps monthly. We're not quite sure yet, and we hope to bring in some other guest stars for some other content creators and talk about what's going on in the game. So let me know what you all think about the video. Pardon, this is our first time recording, so hopefully we will get everything perfect and audio and all that good stuff, better quality every single time we do this. So let's jump into the new intro and let's talk about some Ace. All right, so as you can see right in the middle of the screen, we got 6 topics on the board. We're going to start with the first 3 here with Bones, and the first one we're going to dive into is Opal, the new character. This one is pretty fun. She's become my most wanted and most aesthetic character in the game. Now, she's got some crazy abilities, and I think she's got a lot of potential. I don't know what your thoughts here are on this new character, Bones, but I love this character just from a strictly player standpoint, not anything to do with the health of the game. I love this character.
Yeah, so I'm the kind of guy who I'll max somebody just because they look cool, right? Or because I think they're cool, or the kit looks cool. And yeah, whenever they teased her, I was like, okay, all right. She was released, and she was even cooler than I thought. Her kit, when I first saw her kit, I was kind of like I did. With all new characters, I'm kind of like, okay, are they going to be good? Or they could have the coolest kit in the world, and they don't, pan out when you're actually playing them. And it could be the opposite. Like, you know me, I hate Harbeg, but then you showed off that Harbeg could do something. Do we recommend you do that? Probably not, but he can do it in the right thing. So I've talked to many people who've already mixed them out or maxed them out in my Discord, and they said she is insane. They said that they are using her in dungeons, and they're showing me pictures of damage she's doing, and she's doing insane clan boss damage.
Oh yeah.
So have you seen a lot of people max theirs out yet?
Yeah, so I've seen some guild boss numbers. Someone sent me a screenshot like an hour after they pulled her, and they're running her guild boss, doing more damage than Garel, who's the king of guild boss single target damage.
Yep.
And then we're running her an Ash, and what I think is really interesting, I didn't know you played Raid. I just got told this, but for those of you that do play Raid, there's a lot of you out there in the community. It looks like they got a Rotos passive, right? So they got the 50% damage.
Yep.
You can't go over that. So I'm thinking, obviously, I got to get her and max her out because I do have her now. But I think that she could be used in Gemini, maybe as the first potential Gemini 12 comp outside of Gangelo and Zitlin, because we can avoid the 2-turn nuke because she'll never get reduced past that 50% damage.
Yeah.
And then the poisons can tick at the end of the turn. I don't know. I'm thinking that's some good potential there.
Yeah, her kit seems purely dungeon. Like multi-hits, like you said, pretty much a cheat death if you want to call it. Not quite, but almost. Yeah, she screams dungeon. So I pulled for her. I got a Tia, but I'm going to keep trying while it's going to see what we can do.
I feel you there. I pulled 3 legendaries when I summoned my 200 shards. I pulled a Tia, one of the 3 legendaries. So.
I like her. She's one of my favorite champs, but yeah, not what I wanted.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that she's probably not going to be super PvP oriented, as you're saying, mainly a dungeon character. I think there might be some potential. I didn't realize how good her joint attack ability was. Theoretically, when I read it, I thought it was like maybe a stack or it only procs a time or so, but I've been watching clips and things. It's like during that round, anyone that it hits, she's joint attack. It's crazy.
Yeah, so
crazy strong.
Once again, looking at her kit, I'm still kind of like, okay, but I'm starting to see results already. People are excited, and she's insane. Like, if you guys got her and you're not sure, max her out because she's doing some crazy stuff. I don't know because I can't build her, but from the results I'm seeing, she's insane.
Yeah, I'll be maxing her out once the water dungeon flops back over because I caught it right at the end. But
Speaking of Opal and all the dungeons we're running, Stage 14 dungeons are pretty relatively new here. I think what was it, like 3 weeks ago or so? Am I
Yeah,
wrong on that?
that's about right. Yep.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. I pretty much heard. I only heard a couple days before that Stage 14 dungeons were coming out. That is insane. I mean, I played Raid for a couple months during the beta, and they didn't add their later stage dungeons until, I don't know, what, a year into the game or so?
I didn't
These are
play then,
massive.
so I'm not sure. I was there when there was 20. That's when I came in. So
Okay, yeah, so they added the new dungeons much later on in the game. I did not expect a dungeon expansion so soon. And, I mean, there's a couple things. It's a lot of controversy around Stage 14 dungeons from what I've found. I'm of the opinion that Stage 14 dungeons are nothing but upside. There's maybe some argument to saying like, oh, some whales are kind of increasing the gap between the whales and the people. I guess the people who have Gengallo and the people who don't have Gengallo, they can farm the Stage 14 Gemini much easier.
yeah, yep.
And Ash 14, you kind of need an Nathalia. So the people who have Nathalia, those are people are getting advantages as well. I don't know. I just don't really care about that.
yeah.
I'm just like, Stage 14, we got more theory crafting, we have more content. I love it.
Yeah, I didn't really care because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a theory crafter content creator. I'm just one that likes to have fun, play the game with people.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing any of them yet, I don't think. you're going to have to come on and help me out or something. I'll have to get you to do a takeover or something because I think it's just my gear is what I'm limited to. But either way, yeah, people are getting kind of bored with the game, especially really in players and whales. And I called this the first week. I was watching people whale, and everyone was getting such generous drops. I was like, people are going to, especially whales, were going to get bored really fast. And they are.
Absolutely.
And I understand that. I saw that from a mile away. So they got it. I think that was just their way of keeping people's attention or keeping them around because they're about to drop RTA or something. Even they don't tell us content creators much anyways as it is, so we don't know exactly when it's going to be, but it's very very soon. And
there's not much information that's dropped. Kind of get a little bit of a breadcrumb every here and there, but
and
not too much.
If you want to hear our opinion about that, come by my video. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But
yeah, definitely.
But it's definitely something to keep the whales at bay and keep people around a little bit longer. But as far as difficulty, I have nothing against it. You get more guaranteed good gear. My problem is just I keep putting off grinding those dungeons to get me there. You know what I mean? I'm doing it now. All my followers are like, dude, come on. You gotta get better gear, man. I'm at a point where I'm just gear. That's all I'm missing. So
yeah, I get it. I mean, for my comps, I don't have Gengallo, which obviously if you have Gengallo, you could use them in every single dungeon. So it makes it more difficult because I have to specifically speed tune every single comp. So I'm swapping gear like crazy. Like I'll wake up in the morning and I removed all my gear on stream last night to go test someone. And I'm like, I have to go slap gear on and I don't have the time to go and, specifically tune up a team. So I'm like, I'm just going to slap it on the campaign and run a 10 run because I don't have time to go and use all that energy.
And I'm way too lazy to do that too.
Yeah, it's not happening. I do know that Stage 14 dungeons do require some really, really good gear. And a lot of people, at least from the videos that I put out on the 14, a lot of people are kind of upset whenever I showcase a comp and I'm like, okay, so here's the stats. This is relatively easy to achieve. Maybe that's the wrong terminology, but in regards to Stage 14, the easy is pretty high up there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and like I was lacking revival gear and all that, so I think some people just don't understand sometimes the importance of gear in the game.
Oh yeah.
Because I understand that. I didn't understand it, and I played these games for 6 years, these kind of games, and I just didn't understand how important. And that was my problem in Raid is I'd have great characters, and I'd be watching like content creators' videos. Why isn't this happening? Well, it's because your speed isn't up, or your what was it? What was the term for focus?
Accuracy.
Accuracy. It was always accuracy and speed that I always lacked, and I could never.
Yeah, that's a huge one. I mean, in this game, it's also pretty crazy because like Gemini, I was trying to build a Gemini 14 comp with someone the other day, and you need 180 speed on your, about 175 speed on your Gengallo or whatever, and then you also need 130% focus, and then you also need 22 KHP. It's like it's pretty crazy stats.
Yeah.
I was very surprised because I haven't built too much Gemini, obviously. Again, I don't have Gengallo,
Yeah.
but I think that's definitely something they should look at. But I'm actually surprised. I don't know. I'm sure you've heard like people complain about the fact that some dungeons are exclusive. I mean, specifically Gemini, right? To Gengallo. But I think what's interesting is Ash is actually kind of exclusive to Mythalia and Hydrissia and CR and a couple other legendaries, right?
Yeah.
But it's still the same concept. I'm surprised people haven't complained more about Ash. I think it's kind of the same logic there.
Yeah. Ash is a weird one too, because I'm running that Ice Wolf comp, and how someone came up with that, I have no idea. But it's interesting. But yeah, it's very a fine-tuned machine. I don't know about Ash. Yeah, I haven't ran 14, so I'm just doing 12 right now. But yeah, like you said, it's not very many cons to it. It's just those people that it just makes people that haven't reached it yet feel like they're even farther away. And I think that's the people that complain.
It's true, and I think this plays a lot more into real-time arena and guild versus environment, which we're going to be going over in your video later on.
Yes.
So definitely, I think that's kind of pretty much it for the stage 14 dungeons in reality. But one other thing before we go over to Bones' video here, the new event, or rather the recent event that just wrapped up, the Pirate, I don't even know what the actual name, it was like the Lord of the Oceans.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
It was hard. It was hard.
Yes.
Did you get 30 points on it?
No, and I'm kind of a lazy content creator. I always hate whenever I say these things, but I got to maybe 18. But my problem was my elites. I always have all my projects were legendaries, epics, and I kind of put elites to the side. Even though they can do great things, there's a lot of elites that are really amazing. I just put them to the side because, to me, epics and legendaries, as the collector in me, I want that shiny toy to be shinier. That's how I am. And so I didn't get far, but because of this event, I have already 6-starred my Charles. And
so that's a huge one.
Yeah. I learned.
That's the struggle I was having, actually. I did on my main account. I have some of the elites built, but on my other account, which has been playing since global launch, so it's quite old at this point, I couldn't get 30 points. I didn't have Charles built. I didn't have my Radira built. I couldn't run the elites, debuff, I guess, and so I couldn't beat it.
Okay, so how far did you get?
I got to 23 points or something like that on that account.
Okay.
So I couldn't quite get there, but I mean, it's 23 points or 18 and 23 don't really matter. It's really that 30-point event.
Yep.
And in regards to that, how do you feel about the skin being locked behind the 30 points? Does that, like, you didn't get it since you get the 18 points. I didn't get it on my alt account. I personally, I think it's completely fine. I know a lot of people complained about the fact that people got the Mythalia skin for being a closed beta tester. I don't see where that's coming from. I think it's kind of interesting to have some of the skins locked behind some difficult content, as long as it's not giving you additional stats, for me at least.
So let me just give my overall thing about that. I want to say that yes, it was really hard, but it was a wonderful event because I found myself like ragging on it on stream one time, and I was like, okay, I need to back up. It was a great event. It was just really tough. I didn't like it because I didn't complete it, right? That's the only reason I didn't like it. But it sucks that the skin was put behind level 30, but it also shows the players that put in the extra effort and said, this is my way of showing off that I did some things that a lot of people couldn't. And that's why, I remember the Nathalia skin was controversial, even amongst content creators, because if you weren't part of the closed beta testing, you didn't get it. And it's unfortunate, but it's not anyone's fault. And I was part of the closed beta for 2 of them, I think.
So, see, I was not. I didn't get it.
Not at all. Okay, well, I'll ask your opinion here in a minute about that. But, they didn't show much. Not that they didn't appreciate us, but they didn't give us really anything except for the skin. So if that's all they'll show me, like, that means the world. This is awesome. I can show this off. No one will ever be able to get it except for us closed beta. I mean, it does suck for people like you who don't get it, but at the same time, it makes us feel really good. And they didn't really give us anything for doing it. So
Yeah, see, that's kind of my thought process, because as far as I know, the only thing you really got, I don't know if you spent money in the closed beta test, but the
No.
people who did, they got like, what is it, 1.5 or 2 times as much value as they gave it in like tickets or something. I'm not sure if it's the 1.5 or the 2 times amount, but you don't really get anything else. And to me, it's like you're investing time and perhaps money into something that's not even going to be around, perhaps. I mean, you don't know, in a few months or a few weeks, even. I think it's kind of cool that they ended up giving out the skin. And personally, I mean, if if there's anyone out there that has a code, they can hand it over to anyone who they want, right? If you don't want the skin, you can hand it over to someone who wasn't in the closed beta test. I don't know if there's rules against that. I don't think there is, but I think it's kind of cool that they got the exclusive skin here, as well as the Blackhorn skin. I think that's completely fine. Again, as long as they don't give stats, not a big deal, in my opinion.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. And I'm seeing it being sold a lot. People are making money off that. I don't know if you're in the Facebook page, but I'm seeing it all over the place. So they're out there if you guys want to get them.
Really? I did not see that, actually.
Yeah, there is. But I don't know if it's you can do that or not, but it's being done. So there's plenty out there.
Raid just released their skin line. They're charging $50 for Arbiter skins and such. It's crazy.
What? Yeah. So if they're charging 50, a level 30 unlock is okay with me, because that's insane, dude. Because I mean, I love to be able to express myself, so I love the skin system as it is.
All right, so along the lines of skins, I hope to see it in some future game modes, and we're going to go over all of the rest of the topics here, RTA, patches, and the future of the game over on Bones' channel, so be sure to check that video out, because you'll want to know some thoughts. We might have some interesting information about RTA to share for you all. And you can find that video, and if you want to check out Bones' stream, he's going to be at twitch.tv/bones88, and his YouTube channel is going to be at YouTube bones88 as well. And be sure to check that out, because it's going to be exciting.